Hello guys, today we have a DVR that is from Dahua, and the model, as you can see, HCVR 408 on mini. So what is our goal today? We are going to connect this DVR through a Ethernet cable to our internet, basically my internet in my house, and we are going to do port forwarding so we can access our DVR from mobile phone or from a different network, can be from your office or anywhere in the world. So the main thing you are going to need for this DVR to work properly, you are going to need this DVR connected to your network, and so you will need an Ethernet cable or the 45 cable, and you will need a computer, and the computer has to be connected with the same network as your DVR is connected. So let's proceed, and we will see how we do. You see here my DVR is connected with the Ethernet cable. I already connected everything. I will just show you the important thing. This normal thing you have to do it by yourself. Connect with the Ethernet cable. It has the green line, so it means it's working, but we will double check it is working or not after when I go to the DVR configuration, and we will see. You see the physical DVR address is 408 on mini, and it is connected with a monitor, and we will go to the DVR's main menu. So if you know how to go to the DVR main menu, right click and then main menu. If you have password in your DVR, it will ask you for password, but for mine I don't have any password, so it lets me go straight away. And then you will see some icons, can be different icons in different DVRs, but all the icons probably will the same name or pretty much similar name, and you will basically know what you need to do. In this case, in this DVR, we'll go to network option to get the IP address, to see like our DVR is connected with the IP or with our network and not, and how to get the IP address, and then we have to go back to computer and configure this IP address and port forwarding. So in this one we have to go to the network, and as soon as you go to the network you will see here the IP address. You see the IP address on 921.168.1.131. We will need just on this IP address, and we're going to need the port. The port, basically who is port, we have to open to our router configuration. So if you go to the port, if you come here and then click DHCP, it will take automatic IP if your DVR doesn't have any IP, and then you go back to a static. So this IP will be permanent for this DVR, and it will not change in future. So after you do that, we need to find you can take a note of the IP, and then we will take the port. As you see here, the TCP port is 37777, and the HTTP port is 8080. We will need only these two ports. All the other ports you can leave. So the TCP port basically we will need when we want to access from your mobile phone, and the HTTP port we are going to need when you want to access from a browser, for example computer, or even browser from mobile phone. You will need 8080. Or if you access from your application from your mobile phone, then you will going to I'll show you after everything is done how to configure those things. But keep in mind, take a note of this TCP port and HTTP port from your DVR and the IP address, because we are going to work with three things in our router. So yeah, as you can see these things from here, and then you don't change anything, let it be what is default, because it will work, I know. And then come to the computer, you can see the note what I wrote, so you will be more it will be more easy for you to understand. Now we are in a computer. you have to come to the command prompt. You know how to come there. If you don't know, just go to run and write cmd and press enter. It will give you this command prompt, and then you have to write ipconfig. If you write ipconfig, it will give you the ip address what you are connected, like which one is your computer ip. This is the ipv4 address 192.168 on dot 127 is the computer id, computer ip. But we don't need this, we need default gateway. Default gateway is our this is our router IP. Basically, you need to go to the router, and from the DVR's IP and port, we have to configure in there. So, in order to take this, if you don't know what is your router default gateway, then you have to come here, command prompt, and do this and take a note of your default gateway. As you see, 192.168.1.254, and then you can go to your browser. Can be Google Chrome, can be Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer, and write this IP, and it will let you go in there. So as you see in Google Chrome, I am writing that IP 192.168.1.254, and then press enter. It will let you go in your DVR. But keep in mind, if your DVR has password, it will ask you the login details. Mine does not have, so they say it did not ask me. But if it has password, you have to put the login details in order to go in your router. My router is Technicolor, and now what you have to do, you have to come to toolbox. Again, router can be different. As I said, for the DVR, this icon can be different, name can be little different, the way of doing things can be little different, but the concept is same. As you see, I came to toolbox, and then we are going to do game and application sharing. And here you see the router model as well. Here what you need to do, you need to come here where it says pick a task, assign a game or application to a local network device. You just click here, and then it will give you an option. Here we have to do manually, so in this case you have to come here. If the game or if what it says, if the game or the application you are looking for does not exist, of course it does not exist because we are going to create one for our DVR. So that's why you have to create it from the beginning. So we have to click here to create. So we are clicking, and you can put a name, can be any name, but I will put DVR test as we are doing DVR test. And then manual entry of port maps. So manual entry of port maps, basically we are going to do port forwarding. That's why we have to do the manual entry. Here you see new name DVR test, and then you have the port trains protocol, can be TCP or EDP. I will leave it alone. If you don't know which one to select, just leave it alone, any doesn't matter, and you do the port forwarding here. Before you do the port forwarding, we can do something. We can check that our port is already closed or open. Sometimes if your port is already open, and if you can test it, so it's better than you don't have to do port forwarding twice. In here, to check the port forwarding, you come to this website, can you see me org. There will be few websites, pick anyone, and you will notice after it comes, you will say your IP. This IP is different. Basically this is your global IP. So for example, you are in a different country, then you have to use this IP to access your DVR, not any other IP, not your DVR IP, not your router IP. For example, this is the IP you will need wherever you go, on your mobile phone or in a different network or in a different country. This is the IP. You can take a note of this IP, or you can take it later because we'll come back afterwards. So what it is basically asking, check your port. As I said, we are going to open two ports, 8080, that is HTTP port, another one is TCP, 37777. So let's check if the port is open. You can put your port and check port. It will tell you if the port is already open, it is accessible or not. So we check the first one, TCP on. Click check port and it will give you a short notice, like in a couple of seconds, few seconds. It says error, I could not see your service on this. So it means this port is already closed, it's not open. And check the other one as well, HTTP port 8080. It says this error again, so this port is not open. So our goal is we have to open this port to access the DVR. So we put 37777, the TCP port, as I said before. Just do these port trans uh, things, and you don't have to do any other thing, and then click add, and then we do again 8080, and then add. So we have the ports open now. As you can see, the port is here, DVR, and then under the name DVR test we have this port, but we don't have the IP address yet. We have to tell them, like this port belong to this IP address. So whenever someone try to access from outside of our network, when they like try to access, it will come to this port through and go to that IP address, particular IP address of our DVR. So for example, if you have another port for a different IP address, it will not let you, it will not mix up. Basically what I'm trying to say is it will be particularly, it will go to your actual address where you want to access, basically. So in this case, come here and go back, or come here and then click again game and share, game and application sharing, and assign a game or application to your local network device. Click here. Now what you need to do, we have a name, we have the name, and we have the port ready, but we have to link to it the DVR IP, the IP basically we want to access. So as you can see, as I told you before, take a note of that IP. I put a picture so you can see that is our DVR IP, 192 on the right, 192.168.1.131, and then we already have the name. Find the name here, and it says DVR test, and then we have to do user defined, because we are going to put the manual IP address. This IP address we have to put it now, so it's going to be linked to it together. DVR test when this name belongs to this IP, or this IP belongs to this name, and this name has the port forward as well, as we did before. So just write the IP address, write IP address here, and then add. It says on the top, you can see DVR test. If you click on DVR test, you will see this port is under this name. You remember this port we talked about from the DVR, so it is basically here now. Now you can go back to the port. Can you see me organization and check the port? You see the port is success now. 88 is open, so this port is open now. Check the other one. It should be open as well. Yes, is open. It says on port this is success. So basically our port is open, and we can see the service. So we should be, by now we should be able to access our DVR. Keep in mind, this is the IP address we are gonna need to access the DVR. So this is basically the IP address, 95.136.95.177. You can copy or write it down and go to your Google browser, for example, and paste this IP address in here. If you just press enter, it will not come anything. You have to it will come to a router, but what you need to do, you need to put clone, and then 8080, because this is web browser, so HTTP. So we are going to access port 8080. Well, you can see our DVR is here, and it says you have to install some plugins. But what I'm showing here, because it will not work on Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, it will not work because they normally don't allow uh, all the services. This is not very secure service, that's why they are not allowing. You need to use Internet Explorer to get access your DVR. So close the Google Chrome and come back to your Internet Explorer, and then we will do the same. If you are in the same network, you can use normal DVR IP address to access your DVR. For example, our DVR IP address was, if I'm not mistaken, 192, yes, 192.168.1.131, and then 8080. You see, it will let you access. This is our DVR IP address, but if you basically we will use the global IP. Our my DVR doesn't have any password anyway, so you can see I can access. But this is just for to let you know. But our goal is using global IP. So let's check the global IP. I forgot the IP. We have to take it again from. Can you see me? Or yes, this is the IP. You can copy this IP and paste it to your browser, and then you have to put http slash clone double slash and the port 8080. I already installed this, so it's giving me double warning. Just forget it, allow it, install it if you need to, and then put your DVR username and password. I don't have any password, I have just the username admin, and I click. You will see I am in the DVR. Well, I have only one camera, number 4, I know. Yes, this is the camera, you can see it's connected and it's working perfectly. If you see the timing on the camera and my computer, this is live, same timing. This is basically how you need to access your DVR. And okay, now I'll show you on my phone. I already downloaded the application from this site. You have to know which application is for you. Mine, in this case, mine is IDMSS. And after you download, you have to go to the configure. In mine is configure on the right, add device, and then we have to go to wired device because our device is already wired connected, so it's connected through a cable. And then I am going to our device, put how you want to connect, P2P connection or IP domain. Our is IP domain connection, so we are going to IP domain. And then you can put any name, it doesn't have to be any specific name, just for you to remember. I'm going to put test, and then you have the IP address. If you remember, that's the IP address you have to put, not your DVR IP address, not your router IP address, your global IP. Whatever your ISP gave you, the global IP, you got it. I think I forgot 95 dot, I think 136 something. Let me check. Here you have to put that IP address. As you can see, the port is already configured from this company. If it's not, you have to put the port and the ID and password. But I don't have any password, I have only ID admin. So I just need to put, and the admin is default here, so I just need to put the IP address. You see 95 135 dot 95, and then again 177. And just live preview. Yes, it's connected, but my phone is connected with the router. So you may think maybe if I go out of this router in a different network, it will not work, but I'll show you it will work in a different network. For example, what I'm going to do, I am going to turn off the Wi-Fi and I will use my mobile data. If it works with my mobile data, it means it will work everywhere in the world. So now you can see Wi-Fi is off. I have only 3G now. I guess you can see the video is not very good, but you will get the idea and you will see. And then come to the right application. It's already added, so you just need to select the name, because once it's added, it will be saved in your application. Come here, click test. Well, in this case you have to do yours, but mine is test. Oops. And then live preview. I'm sorry you cannot see it, but you will know as soon as you open the application. It says live preview. Will it takes time? As you see, I don't have too many bars, only 2 bars and 3G, not even 4G. Yeah, now 4G, but 1 bar. Yeah, you see it's connected, and if you notice my this is a 4G only. There is no there is no Wi-Fi connection. I'll show you. I'll move my hand so you can see it is showing live or not. This is the camera, you can see, just on camera. You see my hands is there moving. This is basically all, guys. This how you have to connect. If you don't know how to connect, or any other router or any other DVR configuration, there is some DVR they will not support your IP. They have some different system. I can tell you if you contact me in case of any help. And thanks for watching.